We are here to discuss on sustainability, cost and quality and time for the construction. What to choose, how to choose, when to choose, in which project you should choose what, right? So maybe I will start with the people who produce those dilemmas, maybe construction final decision making authorities for the project, Mr. Tushar Agarkar. They will have dilemmas into why choose this, why not choose this. And I would request active participation from all of us sitting here. Please participate, please have your dilemmas sent to us. You can write on a piece of paper and send it across and we will take it up. Yeah, thank you so much. Tusharji.
Thank you, Amit. I think it's a tough question Amit has posted. The topic itself is very tough.
Yeah, the opening batting will have to be always tough.
Okay, see the point what is included as a dilemma is also we need to include the fourth parameter or the paramount part is the safety also part of it, which is absolutely essential part of any construction project, and maybe not a decade plus it is absolutely essential to have safety. We are doing a lot of projects across India with a lot of safety requirements and it cannot be ignored. It has to be part of the system. See, dilemma means basically when you look at the project, all the parameters what is included are at the corners of a triangle, and it cannot be say you have to go with time and kind of ignore quality or sustainability. They have to be equally managed or mapped throughout the project, and it's a absolutely Hercules task for any construction company like we do projects. It absolutely a big task ahead of us how to do that activity in that given time of line, and all the client believe us. They all want the project yesterday. There is no liberal time given to us for construction of any structure. So it is absolutely a tightrope walk for us. I think most important part is we have to take care of the planning from the day one, which will give us some leverage in between to kind of activity-wise include those lines. But with the timeline is planning and our long lead items, so there are a lot of aspects of planning. We need to be very careful and meticulous, make a great breakdown structure of the planning activities. So that is paramount. Second part is sustainability. Yes, it is now getting kind of included along with this other parameters. We do a lot of activities because of sustainability. We are doing some projects in Hyderabad for data centers, I think. The activity which was earlier more of a site establishment, labor accommodation, it is becoming now a very highlighted structures. Earlier it was maybe a different treatment was given to that whole activity.
Site establishment.
But now it is completely, there's an activity included in any building that you have to, they call it as a prelim. The prelim has to be well defined. There's a separate cost of prelim defined in the tender document. You have to make 1, 2, 3, 4. Earlier site mobilization is just started, nobody is aware what is mobilization. But now it has become a very prominent feature of any project construction site. You have to go details, everything. So it is becoming now part of it, as I think from Jay's Tata, they presented also. So there's a lot of initiative we do for the whole of the project, various levels, and so sustainability now becoming kind of an eminent part of the construction activity.
Right.
And day by day is going to be more kind of a focused area, not from public requirement, but it also for all of us to give it back to the activity what we are handling in that manner.
Right. So you were talking about if we factor time, if we have some extra cushion or if we have some time, maybe we will be able to factor better cost effectiveness, better safety measures, maybe better sustainability as well. So any idea on timeliness? how do we factor those parts in project?
Yeah, thank you, Amit.
Yeah.
So I think before I get to that, I guess as far as I'm concerned, I think there shouldn't be a choice. I think quality, sustainability, and time, and cost. I think all the 3 and 4 things are
required.
critical. So I think the question is how do we achieve all of those? And you're asking about time. So I think I'll answer it from a designer's perspective. I think
Yeah.
so. One thing, as you know, what I'm passionate about is digitization. As I've said many times, I think our AEC industry is kind of, if you look at the surveys, we are almost at the bottom. I mean, even agriculture is kind of above our industry in form of digitization. And so I think as a design professionals, I think the trend has already started. So when we used to have different kind of all the different vendors, the architects, engineers, the structural MEP engineers, fabricators and contractors, if you think about steel, everybody was in different silo. So what we all need to be working towards is how do we all bring this all together. So starting from the different models, how do we interact with the architectural models as structural engineers, even on the engineering side, we have a structural models or BIM models like a Revit model or a Tekla like a fabrication models. So there's been tools that have been developed. We have developed some in-house where there's greater interportability between the tools. And what it also helps from a sustainability standpoint is as we are kind of doing that, we can track the embodied carbon in the steel that we are using. So a change that could be made from an architectural standpoint, how does that affect? The owner should be able to look at it and say, okay, this particular change is going to cost me this much money in rupees and this much from a embodied carbon standpoint. So when we start looking at our structures as a whole building life cycle analysis, not only if this material is recyclable or not, but if in producing a certain material, there's a lot of embodied carbon right from the production to the transportation, the whole building life cycle analysis. I think from that standpoint, the sooner we transition to a more digitized kind of a profession in everything that we do, I think all those 3-4 things, the quality, sustainability, time and cost will all starting to come down.
Right. So any idea from your side as to how we can help from design point of view? All right, if you save time in design, that will be useful while deciding on safety, while deciding on sustainability and all. That's the point of view which everybody has. So is it that really design can save some time and they can help achieving better sustainability or better cost effectiveness? If it is so, how do we do that?
Thanks, Amit. So before answering your question, I would like to discuss 4 parameters, right? We are discussing about time, quality, cost, and sustainability. So what I believe, if you manage 3 parameters well, which is a cost, sustainability, and quality, definitely you will never delay or out of time. Time is the well plan of the 3 things, which is a cost, safety, quality, and sustainability. And if you manage, then time is the not problem. You can always either achieve the schedule or maybe ahead of the schedule. Now coming to the second part, so planning and designing is extremely critical, and most of Japanese or China, Japan, Korea, they are very good in planning and designing. They spend good time on planning and designing. So I believe with 3-4 key things when you do designing, number 1, you need to understand entire life cycle of the project and end user objective. What is objective of the project? Is the airport project or real estate development or corporate fit out? Number 1. Number 2, from day 1, you should try to involve all key stakeholders during design phase. Let's say it's a real estate project, then maybe you have to involve not only contractor or designer, but maybe some party who are doing consumer research or sales party, so you can get appropriate design input. So involving all right stakeholder. Third is use wise technology. Means during design phase, if you use good technology, and also formalize your communication protocol, because many time project are delay. Maybe design is right, but not right the protocol. So if in designing stage, if you do small this 5-6 changes, then maybe you able to do real right designing and planning. So designing plus planning, if you do right combination, then I believe cost, time, quality balance will work.
Sir, your views on this, being most experienced of the panelists.
No, nothing like that. But if you asked whether saving in design time, was that your question?
Yes, that was my
I
question.
completely oppose that view. And because, see, we are talking of sustainability, achieving all these 4 parameters, right? Cost, sustainability, quality, safety, and everything, durability. And if, see, the design cost, everybody knows that's hardly 1% or 2%, right?
Yeah, cost is agreed.
Agreed, right?
Design is not a cost.
Design is not a cost.
I mean, not substantial cost, I would say.
Yeah, and your investment starts when you start procuring material or, you know, start excavating and all that.
Right.
Rather you give 1 or 2 months more to close all the designs with all coordination, everybody. I mean, right from excavation, geotechnical consultant, boring the boreholes and all that, to the facade. Yeah. You complete the LMRs and everything, lift shafts, everything. You coordinate the whole thing and on these Revit platforms and all that. You give 2-3 months more. But in the end, when you start construction, it goes right till end without any hitch.
Yes.
And you
will save on
I
time,
will tell you, you will save at least 20 to 25% of time which we are spending now. Now that is cost optimization.
Correct.
It's not design optimization I'm talking of. It is cost optimization. It's 3 months of your financial cost saved. Right? Because you are investing 3 months later and finishing in time. So we all have to look at coordination as the main aspect of design and not the design itself.
Right, I agree. So when it comes to deciding project schedule in totality, I fully agree with your viewpoint that if you put serious time on design, if you have done accurate design, you will definitely save on execution time. There is no second thought on that. How we optimize both of this, how much design time and how much of execution time would be the right one, I think deciding those factors will be key to success of the project. I'm sure that will be key to the success. How we design it now, if you don't give sufficient time to design department, the designs will be insufficient. You will have changes at a later stage, and those changes will come when you are at construction, when you are doing construction. So those things are going to affect overall schedule at end of it. We need to optimize between this. At the same time, we cannot have unlimited time in design. Take whatever time you want.
Right.
That also cannot happen. We will have certain targets, we will have certain guidelines we need to complete within this. This is genuine time for the project. We complete design within that and then start delivery. So if we adhere to time, in short, if we adhere to time at all stages, I'm sure we will have availability of funds. The cost also will be available for achieving sustainability as well as adhering to safety.
I mean, one thing I'll add, so I totally agree with what Girish said. I think design time, there shouldn't be any reduction in time. However, what I would say is, what I said earlier, rather than having silos, architectural design, I think if there's overlap between various design things, architectural, engineering design, there's tools where we can go back and forth and coordinate with the architects. I think that's there is a time saving that can be achieved, but still, I think the entire design should be complete before we start the construction. This is not always going to be the practical case. Maybe there has to be a foundation issue that needs to be done. But nonetheless, I think, that should be all pretty much done so that there's much less coordination that's done on the field, on the digital twins. All that has been taken care in the design offices. But all of us need to work together towards it and reducing that overlap time period.
So, sir, how much would be contribution of sustainability? I'm talking in terms of time as well as on terms of money. I mean, how much extra time would be required if you have to build a good amount of sustainability in the project? Do you really need any extra time to build that? Or do you really need to spend much higher to achieve those sustainability? Or that is one. And second part of my question is, do we really need to spend extra time to achieve sustainability?
No, I think achieving sustainability depends a lot on the process you are following, lot on the material you are procuring, and like all industries, whether it is auto industry or construction industry, in the last 10 years, huge amount of innovations have taken place.
Right.
You can, in your industry where you can relate very well, steel used to be available in 250 strength, then 350 strength, then 450 strength. Now people are talking about 600 strength. Now all these strengths have been developed by certain industry, which should result in reduction in weight, reduction in thickness because you are getting higher strength. There are many alternative materials are now coming into construction industry. You would have seen in all the malls the railing and all of stainless steel, where very minimal thickness is required, no painting is required. So all these innovations, all these new product development, and if these industries like construction industry, cement industry, even in cement, there has been lot of innovations. Now they are talking about green cement or those kind of thing, green steel. So now it is a time when India is on a path of very, very fast progress. Then these innovations which is being done individually by industries, if we can somehow come on the same platform, if the construction industry can tell steel industry we want this. Earlier, the kind of sizes, the kind of profiles which not used to be available, now the size band has increased, the profiles have increased, everything has increased. So now it is all on ready-made front. So what I believe is that without compromising on cost, rather than reducing the cost, we can still achieve greater sustainability, good material, better material, and move forward in a much faster manner. Just 1 minute more, I mean, we still see in Bombay, the flyovers are taking years. It is like 4 years we all are struggling. You see Japan and China kind of places, 3 months the flyover is built because they have the availability of resources which they deploy very intelligently. And that is what I feel is that is lacking in our system. And if we can somehow mix it all, we have everything, we can achieve that at much lower cost, much lower cost. Maybe we are spending much more than needed.
Correct. So maybe because we are not choosing right material, we are not choosing right design parameters, we are not choosing right construction methodologies, so you are delaying it and so you are putting more money as well.
More
right?
money as well, yeah. I would like to add one what Girish and Abhijit mentioned. Basically, see, we believe in India, everyone has an online engineering model for all the projects.
Right.
Say, okay, I get a footing drawings and the slab drawing is still on the board, which comes to us maybe after 3 months of it.
Correct.
So when he rightly pointed out, if you
If you
give
have
3
complete
months of
package,
engineering to a
yes.
project, if I'm getting a whole bunch of 500 drawings to me on the day one, I can definitely plan that project much better, which is the time.
Yes.
Of course, then I can concentrate definitely on the other parameters of it. Now, because any client will ask me, they will get my signature, I want building completion in 8 months. But the final drawing still comes in the 7th month of the project.
Yes.
Still I have to deliver in the 8th month of the duration.
Right. So controlling changes, see, that's
Yeah,
where
in
the
that
design
case-
gets stuck.
Okay, in that case, cost becomes absolutely challenge for me.
Absolutely.
I wanted to focus on cost, but I do not have options to focus. I will be primarily focusing on the time of a project. So
Right.
it also, like he said, in West they happen. They give you entire drawings and ask you to deliver the project in 8 months. Then definitely we can, as you mentioned, optimize the resources.
Yes.
Otherwise, we currently are not able to do that.
Right. So, I mean, it obviously comes back to the developer. Number of changes which happens during course of the project, that hampers not only designer, that hampers project schedules also, it costs more, and again it comes back to the developer. He is spending more money just because he made few changes. You may feel that for a small change, I am putting 10 ton extra steel, it's 10 lakh rupees, I'll do it. It's not 10 lakh rupees. Definitely not. Your opportunity cost, man day cost, availability of manpower, your entire project gets delayed. Those factors needs to be seen, which probably is not seen in design stage. I mean, changes are made very loosely. इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? If I move this one member from here to here, क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है सर? छोटा सा चीज़ है, हो जाएगा. थोड़ा स्टील ज़्यादा डालना पड़ेगा, no problem, we will pay him. But that change is going to cost you a week or 15 days. That nobody is seeing. So maybe we will have to raise those flags when we are executing project to the owner, to the builder that, sir, look, it's not 5 lakh rupees, it's question of time.
Right.
The project is getting delayed. You should know that because of this activities will be delayed. If you are in agreement, please say so and then we move on. That is going to cost you. Every minute is your cost. Simple as that.
Yeah, but Amit, these are the things, I mean, from our perspective. But
Right.
you put yourself in the shoes of a developer
Right.
and then think, see, if he has, let's say we have built foundation columns up to, if there are 2 basements, you have built 2 basements, you are at ground floor. And now there is suddenly an opportunity for developer to, tweak that design in such a way that he might get, let's say, 100 crores more from that property.
Yes.
Now, your argument that it is going to cost 3 months more and so many
That is nothing.
design fees more, he is okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's okay,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So, this is a scenario today in Indian market because markets are developing. There is no fixed market as such, or the market is not defined by governments such as in Dubai or Singapore or China. There the market is defined by authorities.
Right.
Here the market is fluid and people, the customers, they define the market. So I think complaining about changes and all that, it's not our,
It's not in our hand.
We go on complaining, but developers are going to definitely.
Yeah, they'll
go on.
have their own say, obviously.
Yeah,
They are the
Girish,
boss at the end of the day.
If the change is gonna make 100 crores more rupees for the developer, I think he should be willing to pay a change order fee to the
I get
Yeah,
paid.
he'll be
No,
paying.
Absolutely, I get
He'll pay
paid.
for that.
I
Yeah.
get paid. There's
Right,
no
right.
complaint.
And so, and then that
Yeah,
case, I think it's
absolutely.
probably what Amit is referring to are the frivolous changes, that क्या फर्क पड़ता है इसलिए किया हुआ change, that is different than a change that
Yeah,
is
but the
actually going to make a
point
significant
is,
difference.
Abhijit, it is a cost on sustainability. See,
Right.
So developer gets 100 crores, we get our fees, all that is fine. But what has happened, there is certain component of the project which has been now over-designed,
Yes.
or we go back at the cost of some other resources,
resource,
for
yes.
strengthen that building to add something, So sustainability gets a backseat.
Right,
Change
and
is
so-
never free.
Change.
It-
So
it-
that's why
changes are
when
not-
I
it's never
said
free.
earlier, I think whenever there is a change, in addition to the cost in rupees, there also should be a cost in the embodied carbon that's going to change.
That's
And
right.
that can be
Exactly.
tracked.
That's right.
So I think that's the thing that.
Right.
should-
So
should
if you see in totality, it's much more expensive than what you are seeing it.
That's true, but who looks?
Exactly. Builder will say, I don't care.
No,
I'm getting
developer-
much more money, so don't worry about it.
Developer doesn't care because
Exactly.
it's not his building
Right.
in eventuality. He is going to sell and go off. He gets
Yes.
his share.
Right.
If it is my own building, I'll think,
Right.
or my children, my grandchildren, all that sustainability aspect will come in my mind, not in a developer's mind.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. And that's, yeah.
So far what we have discussed is basically we are talking about the utopian world. What he rightly said, the practical world will have a different, different parameters on which things are moving. Still, having said that, the question that you asked has not been answered. The answer to that question is, there has got to be a crystal clear mechanism safety, I totally agree with him. We don't talk of safety in India, but it is
It's
so
must.
very important. Your entire project will go for a toss. जो कमाना था, लेना था,
सब
you
जाएगा.
might land up in Yerwada.
Yes.
So we are in business. We are not in the business of going to Yerwada. So we cannot afford to have that. So how do you overcome that? That is critical. The methodology is every activity, whether it is an induction, whether it is a toolbox meeting, whether it's a work permit, it has to be, all these three things have to be geotagged. So God forbid there's an accident, the police can be shown that this particular act is an accident, not because of the
Negligence.
developer or the negligence.
It's not negligence.
But it is a proof will come digitally. So that is where the whole process will refine. And we are trying to do it in Yagi in a big way. Every month we have our planning team going to the site and ensuring that where all we are lacking, that particular lack is told to the site, told to all the departments, whether it is D&D, whether it is purchase, whether it is MEP, all departments are told where you are lacking and why you are lacking. Drawing नहीं आया, क्यों नहीं आया, कैसे नहीं आया, कब दे रहे हो, and उसका फिर follow up. Basically, the whole thing boils down to a methodology by which you can follow up and get the thing sorted out. That's what I feel, sir.
Yeah, so maybe if you have better communication, if you have better planning, if you have integrated approach, I would say, then maybe you will be able to follow timelines more accurately, right? And if you save on time, whatever way, if you can save on time, that is definitely money. Forget about that. Even if I for once discount that out, that extra time is available to you for planning something else, right? So that's opportunity cost directly. Maybe you do same task with lesser resources also at the end of the day. Yeah.
Are you taking questions? There's
Yeah.
somebody.
He wants
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. You have mic or you are comfortable? Okay.
Hello everybody, I'm Alva Diwan from Dollaro. Since we are talking about time management and thank you Vishal sir for representing the contractors over there and talking about our plight and our issues as well in the panel in front of all the designers, like all the consultants and all the respective members of the community. Sir, I actually want to ask this question since we talked so much about time. This culture of urgency, what is the origin of this urgency? Since project client plans the project, allotted time given to design, then there's a time given to the execution and completion of the project. But even how much ever we plan the project, we always ultimately get into an urgent situation. And sir, we would love if there was a change and we could get 100 CR for doing that change, but usually that is not the case. Whenever there is a design change, the matter is of the money, of time, but also about the responsibility. The blame always goes on the contractor. It never goes on the consultant or it never goes on the client.
Yes. That's true.
I have a comment on this.
There's a responsibility because we do not change it. That is why we always like that drawing a clear before actual execution starts. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. But the blame always goes to the contractor. That is what is negatively affecting, contractors. We are okay with, changing as per the requirements because we adapt to consultants, we adapt to the client, but nobody adapts to the, contractor's issues. That is my question to you. How well can we coordinate together and actually resolve this rather than, blaming each other? Because in the end, we are a stakeholder of a project and we have to
Yes.
work together to complete the project.
Right.
So that is my question.
No, you go ahead.
He has.
Okay, I have a strong opinion on this. This is happening because contractors are taking a subdued position. You take the front seat, you try to drive the project, you highlight that if changes are going to happen, I mean, we consultants do that. if there is any change from client side, then we write letters simply. We call the client and say that if these are the changes, it will take so much time, it is going to cost you so much, it is going to increase our fees, you are going to pay us more, all that we do. So that is why the blame doesn't come to us. And I have seen most of the contractors not doing this. They think that what am I going to do? I mean, what is my responsibility here? I am going to get the drawings, I am going to construct. And he never thinks that he is the part of a decision-making process. He leaves the decision-making process to the client or consultants. And then he gets the blame. He thinks he gets the blame because he has never raised his voice. He raises voice only in the fag end by asking his claims department to send a claims statement. That's not the way of asserting yourself. You assert by taking responsibility of the project, stating that you are the major stakeholder in the project, not even the client, because so many times you are going to invest ahead of client in that project. So you go to front seat, you do it. There's no reason to complain about this. You have to shift your position, is what I feel.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Girish. I think that's exactly the same reason internationally, lot of, instead of design, bid, build, the design build kind of process is getting more and more traction. So that the contractor and the consultants and the designers are on the same team. So anytime a design is proposed, the contractor has a seat on the table. So that is exactly what you said. So there is no blame game there. So that's why the design build kind of way of kind of executing projects is something that's gaining more and more traction worldwide. And I think, I don't know, in India also it is, but I don't know how much, or if you want to add anything to that.
So I agree with my both the colleagues. So I work almost like 25, 30 countries. I was fortunate to work from Israel to Australia to South Korea in different part. Now what happened in Western country or South Asian, why they go design and build? Because they call as a concept the preliminary design by consultant, which is you can say 30-40%, and 60-70% detailed designing plus fabrications, everything, and shop drawing done by the contractor. And they spend, before hitting the ground, they almost sign off. There is a tri-party sign off. One is the principal, it may be client or developer, designer sign off, and general contractor sign off. In this way, they can able to do design and build more efficiently with minimum change. Now, if you follow them, then there is no challenge, number one. Number two, what he said, most of the contractor in India, they always in a back foot in a two-way. Number one, they don't want to take full responsibility. Secondly, they feel IAM is the lowest in the ecosystem. So they never read 200-page contract. They never argue with client. They never say, I am not agree this client. They never ask, this is my change management process. In Western country, every contractor says, this is my change management process. If you change, we will take 3 working days or 5 working days to revert. What is change on quality, timeline and cost. But here, contractor generally side pay kar dete hai ki ye change kar do, wo change kar do. And this, if we adopt this kind of change management practice, some kind of right communication practice, and some digitalization, this will definitely improve. So, sir,
To change the contractor only.
I honestly, sir,
I have a comment here. I mean, as a community, you should be ready to sacrifice 1 or 2 projects. But if it starts happening, if every contractor stands up, this is not going to happen.
Yeah,
because
it will
then
not happen.
it will be
It's
a
not
trend.
so.
It
See,
will be
it's
a
not
practice.
so easy for owner also to change contractor. It's not that simple and easy.
This is the back foot mind.
Yeah. No, it's not
Why
that
should
simple and
you
easy.
get fired?
1%, 2%, 10% we are ready. But it is the first time here that no contractor opens up because they see there's a God in the place. Design consultant is the one actually praying, and the money man is the God. They never open.
No, this is
No, that's
exactly.
what. See,
this is what we are talking against.
in a larger size EPC contracts, whenever we are dealing with, you will have to open up. You will have to tell customer that, sir, this specification is not right or this is going to take long time. If you seriously want it, we will design accordingly, but it is going to take time. There is no other option. Or this is going to cost you abnormally high. You please review your specifications or please review the material which you are using. You can easily replace it with, you can give alternate suggestion to customer. Here what happens many times, even I have faced this, what he's saying is, contractor will think, I will not give any suggestion. If I give, my competitor will use it. So they don't want to open it up only. They will say, sir, whatever you have written, whatever you have said, I have quoted for that. That's it. But you can be partner in that. You can be partner to that. And why you have to always doubt consultant or customer that they will pass on my design to someone else? Why should they do it? They can anyway do it if they want. Even if they push you out, they will be able to get it from someone else. So there is no proprietorship really speaking on those items. You are not giving your design, you are not giving your design calculations, detailed drawings and all anyways. But at least you can tell him. There is a very polite way to say that, sir, if we change this, it is going to cost so and so. The way he said, almost all consultant will resist change. We always resist it to the customer that, sir, if you make this change, it's going to jeopardize the process. It will jeopardize your complete timelines. Everything goes for a toss, number one. Number two, we also have limited resources available in our team. The designer whom you want, from whom you want the design is not available. He is already working on another project. Tomorrow I cannot shift him. It will take time. But that needs to be communicated. That has to be told to customer that, look, we also have constraint, not that everybody is sitting free. Right? Unless until that is communicated in positive way. We don't want to be rude with customer. Nobody would like to do that, right? But at least communicate, tell them that, sir, if you do this, this is going to create trouble to everybody.
But I will add one thing, what she has mentioned. See, first of all, we must understand the project team is all the team members are in the team.
Yes.
If they are not aligned to each other, what will happen, what he told about, throw out of the contractor. Somebody is God, somebody is a labor. It's not. Unless there is an approach to a project, everyone is responsible for project. If you look at the statistics, most of the projects are delayed. It's almost 95 or maybe 75% projects are delayed. Maybe everybody is contributing to that activity. When you are focused towards a project, even he says that there is a change, the client or the consultant or architect should be ready to accept there is a change. And change will have a cost impact, a time impact, a safety impact or quality impact. If that is the case, or there is acceptance by all the stakeholders of the project, that's going to happen. Otherwise, there will be definitely a blame game within he has delayed and he is not delayed. So all the parameters, all the stakeholders should be equally educated. The change will have an impact of maybe 1 day, 2 day, 10 day, whatever.
Instead of going for constraint, the methodology of communicating is, sir, we are here to do value engineering for your benefit. And ensure that that particular thing that your idea you have gets implemented. And I agree with you, more often than not, it has got implemented with our work.
Correct. Yes, it happens. Most of the time, customer also understands, unless he has a compelling position like what he said, that it's going to get me 100 crore, boss, please understand.
Yeah,
then everybody will have to understand and accept. Yes, correct. Yeah, so let's not, sorry, we are slightly.
What is wrong in that?
Slightly.
What is wrong in that?
Nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong in that.
Because all changes happen for betterment of the projects. This is a principle. Otherwise, nobody is willing to change, even the developer.
Right.
Because there is some positive gain from that change, that is happening. That even the smallest of the fitter and carpenter should know that this is happening for a betterment. No, I'm not saying don't change. Impact has to be told to, yeah, that's it.
But I have seen in my experience, I have worked with L&T, Eversendai, Sapuji kind of contractors, they always do it in their project.
Correct.
Because ultimately they are the final ones.
Yes, that is why they are so big. That is why they are so big.
That's why they have grown there.
Yep.
Right.
And one small point is
Sir, one
that
sec. I think we are diverting little bit on our topic.
I agree.
We are discussing change too much. Yes, we all agree that there should be minimum changes, and let's move on with
So
other
I will
dilemmas
give
that we have.
another dimension to this. My name is Appasaheb Bhosle. Actually, I am representing BG Sirke Construction Technology. My experience, basically our experience in this, basically forming a new construction methodology. So we have worked in different technologies to expedite the project process. And in fact, the steel housing, mass housing project we did. Then way back in 1972, we did with tunnel form technology. And now 100% projects we are doing in precast technology basically. And still we are doing some steel structure. But what we have been observed that this kind of acceptability of this fast construction technologies like steel structures and the precast technologies are limiting somewhere for the developer point of view, not big scale, but the small scale and medium size scale developer because of their cash flows. The cash flows, what this technology demand the speed, and when it comes to demand, the cash flow has to be meted. So this is one of the reason, basically this technology, what we see that this is one of the reason that is not matching the space of our society. So what is your perspective on this part, how it is going to be take way forward in future, and how this technology is going to be accepted in a very larger scale in coming future? This is my question to panelists.
So what you are saying is precisely, see, in conventional days, people are okay, you give me part design, I will execute that, then by that time I will have another money, then I will pay, I will get next level of things done and all. That is slow way of doing it. In that you are spending 4 years, 5 years to complete a project. Now you want to do same project in a span of 1 year or maybe less than that, 8 months or so. If you want to do it faster, you need that much money. That is preliminary requirement, you will have to pour it in, right? So still those developers who do not have money or still owners, I mean, if we talk about factories and all, there are companies who will say, I cannot give LC, we don't have that. We don't have that. We can only pay like this. If you supply 100 ton this month, I'll pay you for 100 ton. Next month, I'll supply you for another 100 ton. Like that. So then they will have to accept that the project is going to take 3 years or 4 years. There is a cost to it. If you add finance cost, in all probability, you will conclude that it is better that you arrange finance and finish it off in a year. It's always profitable. I mean, it's brainless to say that time is going to earn you much more than spending time on construction. They will have to do that. Ultimately, they will have to convert, they'll have to come to terms that no, I will earn only if I do it faster.
Systematic execution approach and proper planning in advance about the cash flow is very, very important when we are
must.
going for such kind of.
It is
Because
absolutely must.
Yeah, like you said, this.
You want mic? Yeah, please.
I think it's high time that architects should, educate the client well in advance. Architects are knowing everything. They take 2 months time with the client to set up a tender, and then they give the PB vendor only 5 days time to submit the offer. and then after that PB bidder struggle to give in the 7th day, and they finalize after 4 months. So this timeline is already gone. Then they will tell the project to be done in 4 months. Now after that, 1 month they take drawing approval. The drawing approval, after the first submission, the changes comes. I think architects know everything. They knows everything. They are in with the clients. I was just telling to Vinay sir. So I think it's high time, clients to be disciplined by the architect. Clients doesn't know. Clients feel that the architect बोल रहा है हो जाएगा तो हो जाएगा.
No,
but I think
see, I'll tell you,
he's
he's one of the best guy to answer this. But apart from that, what he said, this is what exactly he said. Initially, you give genuine time to the designer.
Absolutely.
Give them genuine time to revert. Now, it doesn't mean that you are going to get 1 month to submit your quotation. We also know how long it takes to design that particular building. In all probability, architect has a consultant who has already designed that building, and he is designing that in 5 days or a week's time. You can be given, if he has designed it in week, can be given 10 days. You are not going to get 1 month, because if he gives you 1 month, then everything else will be under pressure.
Sir, I am asking 7
Right.
days,
So
not 5 days.
So genuinity, we need to develop that genuinity, that yes, for designing this building, so much time is required and so much time should be given to contractor or to PEB vendor or to whoever is a person. If you give that time, you will get more accurate quotations, which can then be finalized faster. So overall, if you see in process in totality, if you are more accurate first time, you do it faster, you will conclude it faster rather than giving lesser time in the beginning.
Sir, what is happening is design is killing so much time that your production is under pressure. When
Yes.
production is taking time, then pressure comes to erection.
Erection, and eventually you
And
delay the project.
ultimately, it's the erection poor guys who have to complete the projects instead of 5 months, in 2
You
months.
never recover it.
So they compromise on the quality, on the safety and all those. And client people will sit on the site.
You never recover out of it, save whatever. If there is delay in design stage, you cannot recover it in manufacturing or in erection. You can never. You can see any number of projects. Show me one project where design was delayed and that was recovered in erection or in construction. Never. That will
means
never happen.
Enough time was not given to design. When he said
Exactly,
75% of the projects are getting delayed, that means it's a planning problem.
Exactly. So initially, if you do it accurate, if your first submission is accurate, the rest of it is very fast.
No, but I am wondering, why should contractor be talking about design delays?
Correct.
Because the whole system is wrong. When the package goes to contractor, he should not be thinking about changes in design.
No, in PEB
That
they
will-
design it. In PEB they designed it.
They design, but then the brief must be changing.
No.
Why is it changing?
No, it's a complete change in project details.
Exactly,
Initial-
the design brief has changed, right?
Yes, the initial stage only is.
Said is not the design change.
That's what he is
It
saying.
is a change in the layout. Suppose you have a jack beam.
But
of
then it's a different project. I mean,
Yeah.
why should we complain?
Exactly.
You ask for money for which you have worked, and you start with a new project.
They don't ask for that.
That's the subdued position contractors are taking. Again, I'm saying that.
Sir, that's why I'm telling the architect should educate.
Architect has nothing to do with
Educate
it.
the clients.
Give it to Vinayak, give it to
Architect
Vinayak at least.
Architect is designing to client.
Get opportunity to reply.
Sir, it is high time. I think contractors are pushed on one side and the architect and client brings on the other side, if I am not wrong. Always you are telling take the front side. ऐसा होता नहीं है सर, पीवी में 10 वेंडर बैठा रहता है बाहर.
Dilemma है.
Give him an opportunity to explain.
So all these words are, I'm really feeling very nice when I hear your words and their points, but client does not understand. He simply refuses to accept anything. Yesterday,
Yes.
so
Again we come on that same
Let him finish
So,
first. yeah.
sir said that architects need to be given good time or designers needs to be given good time, and that is very, very valid statement. It will eventually save a lot of time of construction, and also your costs will be more optimal. Yesterday we had a meeting with one of the developer builders. 20 lakh square feet. He wants a presentation on 8th of November before Diwali.
Correct. So
That's the kind of work pressure we are into.
Don't accept it.
We are not accepting.
That's fine.
So,
Simple.
I mean,
no.
that's
you
what will
assume
have to be done eventually.
that client doesn't deserve our services.
Absolutely.
Simple. Yeah.
So
Yes.
we said the
That's
same
right.
thing. And you mentioned that there should be architects and engineering consultants who should start speaking about it. Then only the fraternity will understand.
And contractors too.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Amit, I just want to add one
That's
thing.
fine.
That
They deserve that kind of architects.
Yes. And that project eventually will end up in some different date.
That's not our project.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about that.
1 year to plan, and 2 months, 1 month in design, then this thing, and final pressure on contractor, they should it fast.
so I also want to add, like generally we follow quality and safety, the process, right? During the before selection of contractor, every client asks, what is your quality policy? What is your safety policy? What is your environment policy? But most important for architect or contractor, you should submit your change management process and take sign off before signing the contract. And that way definitely it will give inbound pressure to designer and principal. If I do change, it will take 7 days to revert, 10 days to conclude, and then change order will come, we will start the work. This kind of things we have to give. Then the system will change.
As a contractor, we need to ask customer straight away that let us know what is your decision making matrix.
He will ask same thing from you. You give your change matrix, don't ask me.
In any case, he is asking me my matrix.
Right, right.
But at the same time, when I am sitting there as a partner of that project, as one of the major stakeholders of the project, we as a contractor need to develop that culture that, sir, let me know what is your decision making matrix.
Absolutely correct.
Yes,
In how many days you are going to give me the decisions?
correct, correct.
We have to ask.
And
let
your
me tell you, contractors should not be subdued, but rather they should be adamant.
Yeah,
They should be adamant.
yeah.
Then and then only, at least in our country, we will be able to develop the right culture.
Yes.
You don't need a mic, man.
Not required. ढूंढने के लिए
फिर उसके बाद दर दर भटकता है हर आरएबी को पास कराने के लिए उस इट इज इवन गेटिंग आरएबी एंड देन वो काम कंप्लीट होने के बाद जो बचा हुआ पैसा है वो लाने के लिए दैट इज अनदर बिग
सर नहीं आया रेगुलेटेड टाइम में तो काम बंद करो दैट इज द ओनली वे
दर भटकेंगे तो भटकना ही पड़ेगा दर
हम तो बहुत छोटे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है स्पेशलिटी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है हम मल्टीनेशनल को बोल दिया 15 दिन उसका सेफ्टी का अप्रूवल नहीं दे रहा है एचआर वाला नहीं दे रहा है 16वें दिन बोला सर मैं निकल रहा हूँ साइड से मेरा सारा सामान ढीला करो उसके बाद में वापस कोई इशू
बाद में कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा
Yeah, boss, bring it to
Yes,
try.
yes. Let's come back to our topic of sustainability, quality.
अभी टॉपिक ही चेंज हो गया.
Exactly. So I
Change order and
trying to get it
contractor.
back to where we were. You know, if how do we improvise? Sorry, how do we improvise on timeliness? One suggestion from him is right that if we have better management, if we have better communication, if we have better involvement of various departments, we definitely save on time. On quality front, now whether I should choose quality or I should choose time or I should choose money or I should choose sustainability. Quality versus rest all. Let's discuss it that way.
all are equally important.
No, everything is important, but how, at what point of time we choose what?
Monitoring, let's talk of quality. Quality actually is split into two parts. One part is in-process activity, monitoring. The second part is incoming material quality. Now, if these two things get endorsed on your system, and it has got a legal check and approval mechanism, so there is an accountability you have created at three different levels. And automatically, and everything can be monitored from the headquarters of the respective, whether it's the client's headquarters or it's the contractor's headquarters or whichever place. You can monitor in one click whether this activity that is started, are all the checklists okay or not okay? Is the material में GRN बनना है, good receipt note बनना है. Good receipt note is being given by the vendor. Now, in case he does not get his payment, तो वो तो तंगड़ी तोड़ेगा.
Right. So
Immediately, if that is linked in the system with a goods testing note, unless you do a GTN, you cannot make a GRN. Automatically, the whole process gets anchored for incoming material. But this has to be done and is being done with lot of effort. Means you have to really continuously follow up in your own setup.
so will it happen in zero time? No.
It happens in,
It will require some time to implement those quality standards.
it is a matter of starting and believing that you can do it, and it has to come from top.
Yes.
It cannot be bottom top. It is top down.
Right. Now here in many of the projects, I am just trying to give you the flip side of it. For example, you talk about warehousing project. Some developer is developing it. He will say, sir, forget about this quality. I'm not going to live in this. I'm renting it out. Please deliver to me within time frame because I am committed, and if I don't deliver, I have heavy LD clause. So he will say, forget about quality, deliver it on time. Now, how, that's why I asked you, we know that these are the right quality standards. This is the best quality that we should be doing. But that doesn't come free of cost to us. It requires certain extra time also. There is money and time both involved. So where to choose what? If I'm making my own house, yes, I would like to have best of the quality. Forget about it. Even if it is 1 month delay, I will manage it. Don't worry. So something like that.
Here it will be simple.
This
Developer
one.
का काम हमसे करो, contract में ऐसा client मिल गया, ठोक दो. There's no
Correct.
other option.
Correct. That's what is happening right now.
That guy deserves it.
Exactly. That's what is happening. So not necessarily that in every project we have best of the quality. Not necessary. Even we may not be expecting it. Even the developer don't expect that. Right?
I mean, I don't agree with that. That quality should, in some projects, shouldn't be expected. I think quality we should all expect quality. Maybe the level of quality may be different for different kind of project.
Exactly.
However, I think, but that should be predefined, not because
Yes.
this
It will be
project
predefined.
is, yeah.
It is predefined that we don't want this. Please don't worry about it. Move on quickly. I want project to be completed in 4 months. I want project to be completed in 3 months. I am sure all PV vendors has this kind of expectations from their customer.
Yeah.
Quality should not be discussed.
Yeah, quality.
No, he,
Also quality, he can say, I don't know, or I want this sometime, but it is our duty as a profession that deliver the product in quality, that should be our DNA.
Yeah.
It should not be actually demand quality. Quality should not come in demand, quality should be in our DNA.
So there's in
No,
steel, because we're
that's
talking
always
about.
there in consultant's DNA. Consultant would like to have perfect quality done, right? We will never, no consultant will accept second level of quality. None of them.
There is
But with I'll tell you, it's not about contractor. I'll tell you, this is a case about one of the best company in India. One of the best company, I'm telling you. They want to have their building ready on particular date. Why? Because some of the director is visiting that site. Now, for doing that, some members are wrongly supplied by the vendor. He said, no problem, remove that, gas cut it, weld it and erect it. I don't care about rest of it because the building has to be ready on a particular day when my director is visiting site. He is the owner. He is making those changes which is resisted, not resisted, which is refused by consultant, that this welding is not possible. Even if you do it, your member will be unsafe to take load. Still, on entire building that is done. So, that is a kind of thing which I am telling you. It is sad state of situation.
But then we all should be bold enough to tell the client that you are wrong.
Not
We are not going to do
told. It is written. Even structural stability certificate is refused. Still, he wants to do it that way.
No, let him want it.
Right. So
we are not going to
exactly,
do
we
it.
are not party to that.
We are
cannot
not
be,
going
but
to do it.
see, to that extent, quality is compromised from builder side, just because they want some timeliness or just because they want to achieve some particular milestone. That's it.
There's a saying because.
Exactly. No, this happens. This is, there are. No, it happens quite regularly. I'm telling you, those who deal with PEB, I'm sure they would be getting such requests very.
I think steel concept is a.
The director or top management, if the project lead explain in very well manner, most top management will agree.
Yes.
This
should not be done.
This should not be done, or temporary arrangement can be managed. But I think this should not be a culture to accepting all this kind of thing. And what I would like to about quality, very quickly, quality is a two part. One part during site management and execution, there is no compromise. During execution is only about right mechanism of tracking and monitoring. What should be modified during the specification and design stage based on the building end use. If it is a 3-year, 5-year or lease building, you may redefine some specification. So during the design stage or specification finalize, maybe we can compromise little about quality, but during execution, we should not
Nothing.
compromise.
Once the quality is defined, there should be no dilution,
Yeah.
really speaking.
So-
When you are defining quality, you have all the right to decide, I want this, I don't want this. But once it is defined, there should not be dilution based on such local constraints.
There is a saying about quality, and which is apt because we are talking about steel construction, that quality should be built in, not bolted on.
Yes.
So it's like from all aspects, from the designers, contractors aspect, it should be something that comes as a culture. It shouldn't be something that, okay, now let's think about quality.
Right. So even we used to have a say when I was in engineering, and later on I very closely follow that accuracy, small thing makes accuracy, but accuracy is not small thing. So
To say something over here.
yeah,
So actually quality and time, they go hand in hand. A project done once quality and systematically need not to be redone. Once there is some modification, there is a change, then time comes.
you have to redo. Yes.
So once we are doing in quality na, so we are actually saving the time.
Yes, if you do right first time, you always save on time. That's what I was explaining to him. If you do things right first time, you will definitely save on time and cost both.
Sir, I have a query on sustainability. I'm Karthik from Tata Viscosity. We are talking extensively about sustainability, but one aspect I think we have not addressed right now is the contribution of renewable energy. Because out of the total installed capacity of around 4 lakh 16,000 megawatts in India, so renewable energy has already reached a milestone of more than 1 lakh megawatts. But the sad part is the rooftop installations, what we call as the solar rooftop capacity, is hardly 18,000 megawatts. So in such a diverse scope, wherein so many residential, commercial, and even industrial complexes are being constructed, why is this segment not picking up? Because if this picks up, the potential to harness renewable energy, especially solar energy, is immense. And more so, we find that the rules and regulations in different states are different. Some states are allowing net metering, gross metering, some are not allowing. So do you feel that some initiatives on behalf of Ministry of Non-Renewable Energy Sources or the developers need to get to address this issue?
Any?
I can add it.
Yeah, okay.
See, if you look at the boards, state boards, whatever they have policy for solar policy, what a solar rooftop, most of the places they do not want to encourage that activity. If you look at the rebate they get on solar, is very minimal. So if I want to, people will talk about a cost benefit analysis, life cycle cost, how much money I am putting on the roof solar, and how much benefit I am getting, whether my payback period is 10 years, 5 years or 20 years. So there is absolutely discouragement by the boards to not to put solar to the maximum. So people are putting, I'm not saying they are not putting it. But the deficit what you are talking about is primarily from the board's perspective. Because if you tomorrow the power
ROI.
goes down, give me a minute, for power increase that part, whole board's whole setup is going to go down. Okay, if you have so much of power, thermal or the other power, their whole establishment is going to go down in the whole run. So whole, what I know from that board perspective, that they are discouraged, they do not encourage, they will not give you 1 rupee plus than the tariff power to put solar. If that happens, there will be a lot of the deficit will go down definitely.
It's ROI basically. Yeah.
Solar power, if you have captive consumption, net metering, so payback period is very less, which is 2 to 3 years, because we have almost more than 6 lakhs square feet of old states that is covered with this solar panel, and that is our experience that if net metering is there, the solar is a fantastic option for that. But when it goes to the supply to the grid, the rate at which the state electric would purchase the power is very, very less. That payback period was 15 to 20 years.
Board discourages to go for longer, that's the bottom line.
So if it net metering is there, definitely it is a very appropriate project of 20,000 square meter of area. Pollution control board is actually eligible to put
they are putting lot of small sentences. One is this tariff cost. Second, they'll put a limitation on the roof area. Okay, then you cannot put entire roof. They say, okay, you can only put 30%. Third point is you cannot store solar power. It has to be online consumption. So you should have that much of online consumption. If you're putting even entire roof, you don't have consumption, it's a waste.
There is a norms of 1% of the total energy.
Correct. So they all put from their benefit perspective. As you said, if you go to PCB or even if you go to MOEF for your EC approval, they'll put everything they will put it. But physically it is not viable in terms of cost benefit analysis there.
Sorry, we have last 15 minutes. So let's take as much question as we can take from the audience. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I'm Dharmendra. I'm also civil engineer like most of the here, probably, from last 30 years. Everybody has discussed a lot of problems, but I think we have to also discuss solutions. And in this, Abhijit and I think Ravid sir and most of the people have spoken about digitalization. I think that has most of the answers inbuilt there.
Yes.
Okay, 30 साल से अगर कोई change ही बदला नहीं है, एक word we used to write on paper, now we have to use Excel. That is the maximum the construction industry has reached. Correct? So where is the digitalization? I think that will have the answers. Like in the GPS, if you don't use a Google map, that is where we are using now. कि project कहाँ जा रहे पता नहीं, tentatively वहाँ जाना है. Correct? And if you use a GPS, you know there is a traffic jam there, right? You might have a traffic jam there.
Right.
Or you are able to estimate it will not be 1 hour, it will take 1.5
Yes.
hours. So why are you using GPS then?
Yeah, so we need to have GPS for our project maybe, which will say that you have a traffic there, please watch out.
Exactly my point. And it should be idiot proof.
Yes.
Okay? Even if we call ourselves as whatever qualification we might be, it should be idiot proof. And video or picture is the most simplest way to communicate. है ना?
Yes.
एक architectural drawing आएंगे समझो 25, structural आएंगे 50, MEP आएंगे 20. For example, a project might have example 100 drawings. There will not be a single person who understands all the 100 drawings. Everybody is in silos, right?
Yes.
अगर वही आप BIM में करते हो, like most of the projects have been started now, you are able to see all together before it is getting constructed. Anybody, including the labor, can say कि यहाँ पे problem है, right? Or the senior most person who doesn't have time to read the drawings at all. The problem of our industry is the experienced person never reads the drawing.
Correct.
The junior most person reads the drawing.
Who don't understand it.
Correct. He's got the least understanding because he's learning.
Yeah, who don't understand.
और वो जब वो कारपेंटर कुछ करने जा रहा है तो ये तो नहीं बैठ रहा है, वहां से आरे से स्टार्ट होता है.
Right, right, that's true. You are right, you are right.
This is a bang on this situation. कि client क्यों change करता है, फिर वो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है. लेकिन as a professionals हम लोगों ने कितना टेक्नोलॉजी को इंटीग्रेट किया. I have seen, I have got my I have been to pave कि architects भी है, structural भी है, MEP भी है, contractors भी है, but I find contractors having major advantages in it. सबसे
Yes.
ज़्यादा अगर किसी को फायदा होगा, क्योंकि what I say is there is a drawing in 2D which is supposed to be coordinated, but practically they are not. There's some way or the other there are some challenges which happen. Then you construct digitally before